Influencer David Dobrik was one of those people on YouTube that just felt untouchable, like they could never be cancelled or brought down for anything that they had done. His YouTube channel being wildly successful along with the content that he would make with many of his other influencer friends. But David finally fell into what appears like his biggest controversy yet, after his friend Wittek was badly injured in a stunt that they were performing for a YouTube video. In the video, Wittek is swung from a crane and appears to slam into the side of it, causing the injury which took place back in 2020. Among this, many other accusations came out about the conditions that they would work in and how David appeared to prioritize content over his friend's well-being. As much as I'm sure David wanted to just move on from this incident, Jeff is not letting it slide and is suing David for $10 million to cover lost wages, earning capacity, and the hospital bills. In a YouTube video he put out about the incident in February titled "Dear David," Jeff said the following: "I nearly died. I came an inch from death and an inch from going blind. I'll have lifelong brain injuries. I'm not trying to lecture people, it's just an emotional thing. I had my face smashed in and the one thing I asked from him was to not blame me for it." David himself also spoke up about the incident on a podcast saying, "That day is the worst thing that's ever happened to me. I would f***ing do anything to take that day back. I wish it was me up there. It's the most unfortunate thing ever and it's an accident. That's what it was, it's an accident." Wittek does seem to put some of the blame on Dobrik and not chalk it up to a total accident, saying that when it was his turn to go, David started swinging the crane way too fast, which is what resulted in Jeff crashing into the side of it, everyone rushing to his aid and screaming to call an ambulance in the video. So how is David going to deal with this multi-million-dollar lawsuit? Well, with only the best in the business, of course. It appears that Dobrik is potentially going to be using Johnny Depp's lawyers Ben Shue and Camille Vasquez. In a YouTube video of the two exiting the trial, Ben leans in to give Camille a hug and can be clearly heard saying, "Had a great talk with David Dobrik today," to which Camille replies with, "Oh, good." Many people believe that this is a sign that David Dobrik has hired the two lawyers to take on what has likely been an ongoing legal battle with Jeff, and it certainly makes sense. The two lawyers made a name and reputation for themselves for their actions in Depp's case, and being able to win the case for the actor to the total of over $10 million. David Dobrik being very high profile in the online celebrity sphere and being sued for around the same amount, it's obvious that he would be interested in hiring the two lawyers and hopefully getting the same result out of his case. While being for injury instead of defamation, the two cases are pretty similar in nature, both suing for damages that will need to be proven in a court of law. While this clip is obviously not outright confirmation that the lawyers will be working with him on this case, it is evidence that they have at least been speaking, and I'm not quite sure what other reason Dobrik would have had to be in talks with the two lawyers. Since this isn't the first time that David Dobrik has been under fire, let's go through a rundown of some of the previous allegations that have taken place between him and his so-called vlog squad. Evidence going back to 2017 shows that the group's pranks have often targeted females, and many people say that the content was quite inappropriate and uncomfortable. Former squad member Seth Francois also cited that David and his friends would often be racist, noting things like them doing blackface and playing into harmful stereotypes. Another former member, Nick Kaswani, who has dwarfism, said that he would often be bullied by David and the rest of the group over his disabilities. So David is obviously no stranger to doing messed up things for content, and we may see more things coming out in the future, but that's all for now. I've been your host, Woody. Join us next time for more.